Hello guys, I changed it up. We're in a different setup area. You're over here looking at the bookshelves, so I can like specify that I am a book reader instead of facing the other way where you just see my messy bed, because right now it's messy. Anyways, hi, my name's Diamond. Welcome to my channel. I don't know, as you can tell by the title, we are doing a mid-book year tag. That took me a minute to get. Anyways, basically a mid-year book tag is talking about all the books I've read so far, which I haven't read that many because I've just been depressed and I haven't read anything, which ironically you would think if you've been like really sad, read a lot, but that wasn't my case. I just bed rotted a lot of the time. But I digress and I'm out of it, so hopefully the end of the year tag we will be better. So this is a mid-year tag. You talk about all the books that you've read, all the books that you like. I don't really think mine is that high. I think it's around like 20-ish books I've read this year. Pretty bad. I'll put it all on the screen right here. I can tell mine by Goodreads. I'm trying to switch all my stuff over to Fable at the moment, so you can go follow me on there. If I have it set up, who knows by then. Anyways, now this says mid-year. I understand mid-year is around, actually that's August. Mid-year, because there's 12 months. So this is perfect. It's getting posted in August. Everybody's just ahead of me, but I don't really care. Anyways, I have everything written down because when am I organized? If you said never, pat yourself on the back because you know me so well. Anyways, so we're just gonna go down the list and I'm just gonna tell you everything about this, okay? Number one, the best book that I've read so far this year. I have multiple books that I think are, personally to me, the best that I've read this year. Can y'all tell I'm ready for Christmas already? 4th of July hit and I was done. Now I'm Christmas. I'm ready. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I personally think that this is the best book that I've read so far this year. I loved every second of it. I cried, I laughed, I giggled, I screamed, I was mad. I read it in a reading vlog, so you should go watch. Right. Anyways, but I personally think that this is the best book that I have read so far this year. I personally love Evelyn, and I think it shows the struggles of what it was like to be a woman. Not what it was like. What it is like to be a woman in general, and then on top of that, dealing with the LGBTQ at the time. When was this? 80s? 1950s. Wow, that was a long time ago. So dealing with that along with being a woman and trying to make it in the world dominated by men. Hello, what is more female empowering? Evelyn! Anyways, I love this book so much. If you can't tell, she's annotated. Very much so. Special place in my heart. Okay, next we have what am I currently reading? I'm not really reading anything, I don't want to say, because like I haven't picked up a book in a week, but I also have been working all week, so can't really pick up anything if you work. Anyways, this was what I was reading before I had to work. So beach read, I'm only 30 pages in. I'm hoping to at least finish this by this week, so hopefully I can, you know, do that. Who knows? Fingers crossed. I don't really work that much next week, so fingers crossed. Anyways, at the moment, it's okay. It's not personally a favorite. I just really like the writing in here, if that makes sense. I'm not here for the trope or the plot. Kind of iffy. I more so am paying attention to the writing. I like the writing, if that makes sense. I'm not here for the story. The story kind of seems boring to me at the moment. Hopefully it'll pick it back up. I don't know. Best sequel that I've read this year. I would have to say best sequel. I'm back. Okay. Best sequel that I have read so far this year, I would have to say is Killer Instincts by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I read this in a day. That's how good it is. A day. Are we seeing this? I flew through it. The best sequel ever. I love this one. I think I'd love it a little bit more than The Naturals. I do have All In. I just haven't picked it up yet, sadly. I know. But this was so good. I love Dean. I love Cassie. I love the character development that we get with Leah. I love how they all work together. I love the found family. If you can't tell, I just love this book. This book was chef's kiss, dare I say, better than the Inheritance Games. Oh my god, who said that? Shots fired. Next, we have new releases you haven't read but want to. Okay, so this we have to pull out the TBR cart because I have quite a bit. Let's go. I have 4 books here. Okay, first we have Rewind It Back. I love Liz Tom Ford and her writing. I love this series, the Windy City series. If you're looking for a good sports romance that you can just easily fly through, definitely 100% recommend. It is so good. I got this one, I think, for my graduation gift from my aunt. I just haven't read it, but I love it. Chef's kiss. I already know I'm going to love it. I love the series, so that therefore means that I'm going to love this book. How can you go wrong with the last one? And the fact that I already love Rio from seeing him in everybody else's book. Of course I'm going to love him. Why wouldn't I not? Then we have Watch Me. I personally read this. I didn't read it. I got a couple pages into it, but again, I was in this slump not wanting to read anything, state of phase in life, and sad, depressed, you know, life phase. So I didn't really get that far into it, and I didn't want to continue reading the book if I was just like, I'm not enjoying living at the moment. Why am I going to enjoy a book? Oh, So I didn't want to like force hate the book, if that makes sense. I didn't want to read it when I already know that I wasn't gonna like the book because I didn't want to read anything, if that makes sense. That makes sense. So yeah. Then we have All In. Like I said, I haven't read it, but I do have the physical copy. Maybe I should do this for a reading vlog, 24-hour readathon. Who knows? Y'all let me know in the comments. Then I have Nothing Like the Movies. This isn't a release that I really wanted to read. I got it while I was on my graduation trip. If you haven't watched that vlog, go ahead and watch it. This is a very anticipated read of mine. I've heard such mixed reviews on it that I'm just like, ooh, good, bad. It's like kind of all over the place, but I'm kind of low-key here for it. I like hearing bad things about a book, and then most of the time when I hear bad things about a book, they're normally 10 times out of 10 wrong. To me, at least. I personally like them. I don't know. I think people are just picky and haters. That's quite literally what I think. Okay, biggest disappointment. Okay, I have two. First is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I don't know if you can see that. The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. This got a lot of hype last year around this time. And I picked it up and I didn't really like, yeah, it's good, but I don't think it was like Chef's Kiss to die for as much hype as it was talking about. So I was kind of disappointed. But then again, that just goes to show that you should really just form your own opinions about books and not let other people dictate how you think you're going to view a book. So really that's on me. But I think the reason it got so much hype was just because like the cover is really pretty. I think that's literally the only reason why it got so much hype. All that I can think of. The other one is The Final Gambit. I'll put it up on here. Is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I thought it was okay. I low-key thought we could have ended with the second one. I don't understand why we need a 7-part book series. I'm not understanding it, okay? I'm not. So I personally think that one was a disappointment also. Another disappointment was, oh, I have it. Hold on. Although I don't really know what I expected going into it because like it literally is a dark romance priest. So that's kind of also again on me. So maybe I'm the issue. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Anyways, so that was another disappointment of mine. I thought it was going to be a lot better, a lot more plot driven, I guess you could say. And it was not plot driven, but again, what did I expect? It was a dark romance. How much can you really get from that? Okay, next we have biggest surprises. My biggest surprise this year of 2025 is Better Than the Movies. If you know me, or if you've been around here for a minute, you know when I first did pick this book up, I hated it. I thought Liz was annoying. I thought she was childish. I thought Wes was annoying. I thought the whole entire dynamic of it was childish. But y'all convinced me to try it again, and I tried it, and I loved it. So, biggest surprise this so far was the fact that I loved this book. Yeah. It is so good. I love all the quotes. I love everything in it. I need to go back basically and annotate it with my heart, my whole heart. But yeah, that was my biggest surprise. Okay, next we have a new favorite author. Can you tell what this is? This kind of looks like Taste of Rainbow. Anyways, it is Rena Kent. These are all the books that I have by her so far. I plan on getting more. She basically has her own shelf at the top. I love this one. 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 So all the ones that I have already, I love. I flew through them. They were so good. I got my mom and grandma to read. That's how good they are. She is my new favorite author, and I stand by it, and I will continue to stand by it, and I will not take any hate to her name. If you take a shot at her, I'm basically going to fight you. If she has 0 fans, I am dead. I am dead if that's the case, if she has no fans. But I love every single one of her books so far that I have read. Okay, next we have newest fictional crush. I think my newest fictional crush would have to be, I'm trying to think of like one that I just like got this year. I think it would have to be Wes or Dean from The Naturals. So either Wes from Better Than the Movies or Dean from The Naturals. He is Chef's Kiss. I don't know, something about Dean. He just gives off Chef's Kiss. He gives off Grayson vibes from the Inheritance games, and I loved Grayson from the Inheritance games, so maybe that's why I like him. And I just love Wes because he has my sense of humor. He's nice, he's funny, he knows movies, he has good taste in music. What more could you ask for in a guy? He plays baseball. What more could you ask for? Next, a book that made me cry. Quite frankly, every book makes me cry. I'm just a very emotional person. Some may say too emotional, and I cry over everything. But you know, who cares? Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't. Okay, anyways. I would say Keeping 13 and Binding 13. I think I cried more in Keeping 13 than I did cry in Binding 13, but nonetheless, they are all still sad. I do need to finish the whole series because Releasing Tinted just come out. I'm kind of waiting for the rest of them to drop, but I know that may take a couple years because I just want to fly through them all, if that makes sense. But I have never ugly cried so hard for a book. Actually, no, that's not true. I really cried for 1,000 Boy Kisses. That book is incredibly sad. My mom had to take the book away from me because I was crying that hard. It was that bad. But this is a close second. She didn't have to take it away from me because I was crying at like 3 o'clock in the morning when I finished the book. But nonetheless, still very sad. If this falls, I would laugh. Next is a book that made me happy, and that is Lights Out. By happy, I mean I just laughed the whole entire time in the book. I don't know. So I've seen a bunch of people say that they actually did not find this book funny, and I'm just like, I found it funny. I thought it was funny. I don't, maybe that's just me. Maybe my sense of humor is ruined and I laugh over everything. Who knows? Okay? But I thought this was really funny. I had a great time reading it, flew through it, made me happy. What more could you ask for? Most beautiful book that I have bought so far this year. All my beautiful books just sit right up there on this shelf right here. I bought this one this year, Onyx Storm. Look how pretty the edges are. Super pretty. The front is really pretty. So, and I really did enjoy this book. So, it is worth the prettiness. Then I think the next book that I'm about to show really just takes this one out of the park. But I really just like the dragons on the side, so I kind of had to include this one. Next, my favorite one is Watch Me. First of all, this is adorable. This is adorable. This is adorable. And this is adorable. Like, Tara Moffi really outdid herself when she made this book. Like, really outdid herself. So I think this is my most beautiful book that I've bought this year, and this is a very close second. So, there's that. What books do I want to reread? Quite frankly, I want to read every single book that I've read that I love, because I just want to feel like I am reading again and fall in love with the sense of reading. But if I had to pick off the top of my head, I would definitely say King of Envy. I do want to reread. It's right there, right here. I loved it so much. I would love to reread it. I would love to really reread all the Twisted, all the King of Scent, and all the Legacy of Gods books. I just love those books so much. I love them. So I would want to reread all those ones. A book trope I loved this year, I would have to say secretly dating. That makes sense. Either fake dating or secretly dating, which I used to have such the biggest ick and hate the fake dating trope, because I just thought it was so dumb. Like, it was like, no duh, you're clearly gonna fall for each other. Like, let's be smart about this. Like, no duh, doesn't ever work. Until I read this book, and then I was like, okay, that's kind of cute. And then until I read King of Envy, and that was like secretly dating, if you will. And I really love that book, so I think those are my favorites that I've read so far this year. Let's see. A book that I should have DNF'd. Little Liar, Little Stranger. Which other ones? I did DNF this, The Brothers Hawthorne. I just was not loving it. Did not care for it. I even DNF'd an end of reading vlog. Should go watch it. That, A Little Liar, and A Little Stranger, I think deserved a DNF. I really should have DNF'd those. And the most binge-worthy out of all of these, I think, that I have read this year, King of Sense, Twisted, and the Legacy of God, and her new ones that she's adding to the collection. I think this whole series is binge-worthy. The whole entire Twisted and the whole entire King of Sense series is binge-worthy. I think you really, if you wanted to, could read all of those series, well, each different one series, in the span of a week. My personal opinion. I think you could fly through those books fairly quickly. That's how good they are, and I love them, and if you don't love them, I will force you to reread them until you do love them. Anyways, thanks y'all for joining in on my mid-year book tag. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all let me know y'all's most anticipated read for 2025 or the following next couple months. The book that y'all have loved, how many books have y'all read, what's the most beautiful book you bought, a book you should have DNF'd. Y'all let me know basically all the questions that I asked myself. Y'all let me know those questions, okay? Okay. And I love you all. Thank you so much for watching, and mwah.